Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors, we don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
That was very peppy, Emily.
I was peppy. You know what? Because I made sure to have a good Wednesday night, John, before we started recording on Thursday. Because if I don't have a good Wednesday night, I come in here Thursday thinking I can just wing it. And then I kind of go off the rails. And that's not fair to anybody because we want to talk about weight loss and diets and our struggles and our weeks. We don't want to be all cranky on top of being hangry and our window almost closing.
Someone said something on a podcast and it was HALT. Hungry, angry, something.
Probably tired is the T.
Hungry, angry, something tired.
L. What would be the L?
Yeah, or was it HALT? It sounded, I remember it was HALT.
I do remember in college deciding that the three things I hate the most uncomfortable, and if you want to put me in a bad mood, you give me these three things. You get me wet, you get me tired, and you get me cold. And hungry, I guess.
So hungry, HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired?
Lonely.
Hungry, angry, lonely, tired? That's a bad time.
Yeah. So
how was your week? You said you didn't have much of a week, but I see you scooting around all over the place on Instagram.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I didn't mean to take a social media break, but I wanted to take a little bit of a break. It was consuming me, and I can usually tell when my anxiety gets the best of me. And I have trouble falling asleep at night. I can tell when I'm on social media too much because I have trouble turning it off. And my fingers have that memory of the same three apps. I move Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, those apps on my phone all the time to mess with my muscle memory, because after a while you just realize, wow, I open my phone, my thumb automatically goes to these things and goes around, and then you get caught in the scroll and it's terrible. And you're not even doing anything. It's not even productive. You're not even learning anything. You're just sitting there and having it come at you like a fire hose. And so I kind of want to get away from that a little bit more and work more on creating and doing more with my kids, especially right now. My son is at a great age. My daughter's 8. We're trying to find out what's going on in school. She's not having a great time in school, and I think it's because she needs a little bit more help. She's very bright and intelligent. She's just a different kind of learner than sit down and take a test. So I'm trying to focus a little bit more on that. And I think that's why I like intermittent fasting so much, is because I just have those 8 hours a day I have to worry about food. And even then, it's like 2 or 3 hours out of those 8 hours. It's like, oh, I'm full. I don't have to worry about it. I'm still in my window. Whatever. If I want to eat, I can. So yeah, that's pretty much my week.
So for me, I was just concentrating on the same, just, even if I'm going out to eat somewhere, making sure that I put it in my FitnessPal or at least look it up and then do the calories beforehand so I don't lose my mind and then just go and overeat. Because then once you see the calories, you're like,
yeah.
All right, that's not. So then there was a lot of times there was like, all right, I'm going, let's just use Taco. I'm going to Taco Bell and I'm going to get this burrito and that to this and that. And I look at it and I'm like, 1,800 calories. I can't have that. So then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go have 2 tacos and a burrito. Oh, that's better. So then I didn't have to feel bad about it. And I kept it in the window and things started to work out. Also, being able to cook last week, do some dude cooking, cook a bunch of chicken, cook a bunch of sweet potatoes, just leave them in the refrigerator, wrapped in tin foil. That to me, that was like my end of the day snack. Like I would just grab a sweet potato and eat it like a apple. No butter, no anything on it. And, I just felt a lot better about the way that I was eating. The other thing is, if I'm not going out to eat, then I'm here, which means I get more work done, which means, I'm not out wasting money and time. So it was a pretty good week for me. I also noticed that one of the things I have to try to do is figure out how to get more sleep because I end up working late into the night. And then for some reason, I cannot sleep in the morning. Once the sun comes up, I'm up. And I don't know what that is. I mean, I just can't seem to sleep past that. I definitely need more sleep because once I'm really tired, then I get really hungry. So there were the things I was really working on this week and doing a little bit of, I don't want to say meditation, but more just like deep calming down and not freaking out and just doing like just breathing and focusing on my breathing. I really don't know how to meditate. I think that's a way of meditation, seem to calm me down.
I will say try the Headspace app. See how you like that. There's a paid version, but there's also a free version to kind of get you started and to let you see if you like it or not. And really, it's very short. By the end of it, I remember thinking, oh, wait, that's it? That's 10 minutes? And there are a lot of free meditations online on YouTube, but you kind of have to search through if you're just beginning to find something that you can really get into. So there was a great video that I watched for a while, and I think it was meditation for beginners and people who have gone away from the practice and then came back to the practice of breathing. So the 4 breaths in and out and then holding it, that's box breathing. And that's very simple. Anybody can do that just to get started with breathing. It's funny because we are thinking so much, and you and I both have ADHD. So it's very hard to just concentrate on breathing because it's like, oh, I don't need to worry about that. That's something I do all the time. Why are you telling me to focus on this thing when I could be focusing on my client's work that's due tomorrow, or the email that I need to send next week, or this or this or this. So when you do even just a little bit of concentrating on your breathing and being mindfulness, I have noticed it makes a difference. And it does help, especially if you do it before eating. It helps me at least to kind of, okay, I don't have to rush through this.
Yeah, I eat like somebody's going to steal the bowl.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. And I always wonder about that because it's not like I had siblings or anything that was going to, and they weren't going to grab my food from me or finish it before me. But it was one of those things, I think because I just wanted to do something else during dinner, that I got into the habit of just finishing really quickly and shoveling it in my face and being like, bye, I gotta go. I want to go do this.
You know, it's funny, and I was just, because you said something about taking a break from social media, and it kind of made me think of something, because we both do this, and we're both very busy. The performing. I know it sounds stupid. We're just sitting here talking on a podcast, but that whole having to perform.
Yeah.
We do it. Well, I do it now 5 nights a week. I have a podcast on Monday night. Tuesday night, we are doing that podcast thing over on Get Vocal. Wednesday, I have my own podcast. Thursday, I do this. And then Friday, I'm with She Podcast. So there's 5 days that I'm actually, getting ready to perform. It's not like I'm doing magic tricks or going up on stage or doing anything physical, but it does seem to take a drain on you, because I know that there's a certain point at the night where it's all of a sudden, it's like I hit that wall and I have nothing else. If I try to push through, I make mistakes. I'm the grumpy guy again. I'm done. I'm wondering if that has something to do with like pushing some of this eating, because I just remembered now that the biggest problem for me at night is when I stop. It's almost like, okay, I'm done. I need a reward. I need something to eat. And what I did this week was I replaced it with something else. Like I made something to drink that was low calorie. I had, what's that stuff called? Crystal Light Punch. And then I had regular iced tea. And so I would have something like that was a little bit sweet, and it kind of took the edge off. So what do you think about like performing all the time? You're always performing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. And how as soon as the mic comes on and as soon as the camera comes on, it's like we're on. We're not necessarily fake performing. This is actually who we are. This is how we would talk on a Skype call if it were just you and me recording a podcast, or maybe not even recording a podcast. This is how we are. But at the same time, we're also very conscious all the time of people are going to listen to us later. People are going to watch us later. We're kind of squirreling those things away in our brain of just like, what will make it better for us in the future? What's going to make it easier for future John to edit this episode when I had a phone call in between it? What's going to make it easier for me tomorrow morning when I wake up? It would be so much better to finish whatever I'm doing now at night and stay up later. And this is the thought process. And then this is what holds me up. And last night I finally had to close my laptop at 11 and be like, no, I have nothing more that I need to do. And I am telling myself that I deserve to go to bed early so I can have a good recording in the morning. That's actually what I want to do for future Emily. But instead, I'm like, oh, but I could have a good recording and have these files processed. And, oh, I could have my email done tonight so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow morning. But I think we get into this pattern of trying to help ourselves later and performing for everybody. And it does take a drain on us. It really does.
I always say trying to stuff 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
And even though this doesn't sound like it's performing and we're talking in a mic, there's a certain energy you have to bring. When you podcast, there's a certain energy. You just can't be mopey. And I noticed this before we came into Facebook Live. You and I were both mopey.
Yeah.
And then you came in, I said, all right, I'm going to hit the music. And then you just went into this peppy Emily thing. And I was like, look at her.
That's the music too. And I know it's kind of a Pavlovian response now. I hear that music and I'm like, oh, it's peppy. Wait, I love this show. I love doing this show.
Yeah. And then so you're peppy and I'm like, well, I got to be peppy. So we have to move it up here. We got to get this together and put this out because and again, everybody that listens, even if you're not in the Facebook group, this is what we're doing. And for me, and this is really weird. I mean, because I just look back and I forget what I was looking at. I think it was when I went back to look at when I started podcasting, which was in 2012. And then before that, I was trying to lose weight again. And I was like 19 years that I was really seriously trying to do that. It's 2 decades. There's children out there. My children are younger than this. So for me to just continue to do this, and then it's finally starting, and I hate to say this because I don't want to jinx myself. To me, it finally feels like it's coming around. Like I'm able to stop the urges. I'm able to fight myself. I'm able to tell myself no. I never could do that before. This is the hardest part for me.
You've practiced. You've had at least a year that we've been doing this show of practicing and staying accountable and not giving up. It's also interesting to note that we've been practicing dieting and staying in our window and following recipes and stuff like that. But we've also been practicing falling off the wagon and getting back on, which I think is probably, if you're dieting, the most important thing that you could practice is just practice saying, it's okay. I had a bad day. That doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't mean I've had a bad year or a bad lifetime. I just had one bad day where I made a few mistakes and I've learned from it.
Yeah. For me, it shows up in the weigh-in every week.
Yeah.
It really does. If I'm conscious or I'm on autopilot. If I'm on autopilot, the weight goes up. If I'm conscious about what's going on, the weight goes down.
Adam says when the mic is in front of you, you turn on your voice. And it's one of those, it does happen where when I'm talking to somebody, I have the same sort of voice I have when I'm podcasting with you. But when I'm talking to my husband and I'm on the couch and it's late at night, everything is more monotone because I'm like, I don't have to go nuts with the hand gestures and moving my breath up and down and my voice all over the place anymore. It's just, but it doesn't make for a good podcast if you talk the way you talk when you're on the couch and you're just
right.
Nothing much.
You're absolutely, it's like, how was your day? Well, know, yeah. How was your day? Well, I was, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But when you're in here, there's a certain tone you bring. You're bringing some energy to this. You're trying to be entertaining at all times. And we've been doing this so long, we don't even realize it.
No, I don't notice it either. My husband notices when I go to podcast conferences and then I call him from there and he's like, you're in full podcast mode right now. I can't even have a conversation with you.
Well, it's like when I talked to Sam at night, because we're 2 hours, the time difference is 2 hours different. And when I go to talk to her at night, there's a certain point where I just hit a wall and I have nothing left. And I'm like, ugh, I got nothing.
But what's nice is when I used to hit that wall, my go-to was food because I had that very basic idea that food equals energy. If I'm running low on energy, clearly it's not because I'm tired. Clearly it's not because I'm stressed. It's not because I'm angry. No, my brain automatically goes to, you should eat something. If you eat something, everything will be better. Food is the magic pill to fix all your problems. And then later you get on the scale and you're like, food was not the answer I was looking for.
Especially that late at night, because then seems to do for me is that I don't sleep well. I just don't sleep well when I eat too much or I'm full at night. It's funny because we do have a lot of podcasters here. Jason's saying it's the same thing. He has that same performing thing, and he does like announcing, which is even crazier. That's even more energy. And Adam says he has two voices. He has the voice when he turns on the mic and his regular voice.
Yeah.
And I did that too when I first started, because when I first started, I was so nervous. I had this tightness in my chest.
Oh, yeah.
You had that tightness when you started. And now I turn on a microphone and I don't even notice it. But there's several times when I've stopped podcasting for a while and then I had to get behind the mic again and that tightness was there. So you still have to get into it. Yeah. So I do feel that I am right now cruising a little bit. I don't have any more time to make mistakes because the clock is ticking. I'm going for the surgery. I have appointments set up for next week, next Wednesday, the Wednesday after that. And then somewhere in June or July, in July, I think that this is going to happen. This is an estimation, everybody.
And also for those who haven't followed John, he's going to get bariatric surgery. That's what we're talking about. His date is coming up. Not his date of just like, that's it, July, that's it.
That's it, I'm done, July, that's it. Dig a hole, throw some dirt on me. Now, I got to be careful here because I have some tattletales in here that run to Sam. I'm not going to say who. Her nickname is TTL, Tattletale Lisa, who runs over and tells Sam before I get a chance to tell Sam, because a lot of times when I wake up and we do the show, I think about the show and I don't have a chance to talk to her before the show. So then I say something and then Tattletale runs over to Sam and tells her. And then Sam's like, well, how come you didn't tell me? I'm like, I just thought of it this morning. I don't have time. I don't have time to tell you yet.
I just want to tell Sam, like, John is so not basic, but what you see with John is what you get. He's not trying to pull any punches. He's not trying to hide things.
Yeah, I forget. I honestly forget things. It's ridiculous how horrible my memory is. It's horrendous trying to be this old. It's so funny when I see older people talking and they're stuttering and stammering. I'm like, that's me. I do that.
I know why. I've come up with a reason why, because I've gotten to the point where I'm forgetting very basic things. And I realized it's because we're old and we have so many memories. We have way too many memories that we're holding on to that take up space in our brains instead of the things that we need to know. And you said it the other night when we were talking about this, it's because those memories have an emotion attached to it.
Yes.
And that's absolutely right. Now things happen and we don't give as many shoots.
Right. Well, here's the other thing too. I don't know what it is about me, but if you're around me, for a long period of time, it's a game show. Because what happens is I forget about things. I can see it and it's like charades. It's like, oh, I was watching the show the other day. The guy with the guy from Castle. And then everybody's like, oh, Nathan Fillion, the rookie. Oh, yeah, okay. It's like it's one of those things. It's almost like a game show. It's like you want to buzzer. You want to be able to buzz in. It's the craziest thing. And sometimes I get them and sometimes I don't. Sometimes it'll come to me and sometimes because I can see their face. I get a first name maybe. And it's like, it's so frustrating. It drives you crazy. You're like, I hate my life. I can't stand. I can't figure who this is. And then the blonde hair, blue eyes, bow on a cheek. Ugh. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's a part of me that's really considering about having to be behind the mic and maybe being too old to be behind the mic because I don't want to be one of those stuttering old guys that go, I don't want to be those guys.
To edit so that we can make ourselves sound smarter.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, absolutely. The horror of when I listen back to me after when I'm doing the editing on this show, I can't believe we have 12 people in here on Facebook and that's who's in this room here. There's a lot of people that they're sneaky. They click the mic and listen to it without coming in so they don't show up in here for whatever reason. I don't know, but that's okay. But there's more
I do that with certain ones that I don't want to like be called out when I watch it.
So you click the volume thing. You can watch from outside the room. You're standing in the hallway looking in, listening to us.
I mean, that's why I started listening to podcasts in the first place was because I like listening to conversations without having that burden of contributing. Just being like, no, I just want to observe.
Well, do you really? Because there's a lot of times when podcasters are talking and are in a subject and I have an opinion and I want to interject and I can't. That's why I like going to live chat rooms and then interjecting or Facebook Lives or something. I love interjecting. I interject. It's not the same
Do.
thing. So, anyhow, hey, why don't we get into some Winning Wednesdays?
Oh, before we do that, I have one more thing I did this week that is related to food prep, actually. I bought new glass containers for vegetables in the fridge. I threw out all of the Ziploc disposable containers that you get because I have no attachment to them. So I'll make something and I'll put them in there and say, well, if it goes bad, I'm just going to throw out the whole thing. So this week, I took my husband to Home Goods. It was the first time he had ever been to Home Goods. So this was an exciting experience for me to watch and be like, what's this? What's this? What's this? Why are there just wicker balls? What do you use them for? And I have to explain to him, I'm like, they're decoration. Why is someone paying $12 for them? I don't know, honey. Let's find my little containers.
Let's move along.
So I got these glass containers and they have snappable tops on them. And I went to the store and I cut up a bunch of vegetables. So I have broccoli in my fridge. I have baby carrots. I have celery. I have strawberries and blueberries. And when you open my fridge, it's like this beautiful display of fruits that are nice and fresh and colorful and vibrant. And then yesterday, I almost wanted to take a picture of this because I took out a tiny little plate and I made a fruit plate with some cheese on it for a snack for me and my son. And it felt so good to be able to do that and not just go for the processed. You know, we have the little bags of crackers that he will happily eat for a snack. But I was like, no, I really want to do this for my family and get them as soon as I can on that right track so that they equate vegetables and fruits with snacks instead of processed foods because it's faster. This takes a little prep work because I had to cut them up and I had to put them in the actual containers. But after that, once they were in the fridge, it was like, oh, and my husband wanted a snack. He had cucumbers right there already sliced up for him. So as I have to do these things, these are things that I really want to get into a habit of doing because it does work out better and I feel better after.
What I do now is on Sundays, I have a 4-hour schedule of meal prep. It's right on my calendar. It says meal prep. So I go in, I chop up vegetables. It's when I put my eggs in the Instapot. So I do my eggs and then I make up tuna salad and egg salad. So it's in there. That's when I bake my potatoes and I bake my chicken. I had the oven going with the chicken and the potatoes in there. I was making tuna fish. I had the egg salad thing going. I was cutting up vegetables. So when I came upstairs, I was like, oh, there's nothing here to eat that I can grab. Let me get in a truck and go out and grab something else to eat. Also, Michelle, who's part of this group, she sent me one of the guys who was a dietitian at the bariatric place. He left. He started his own bariatric home meal delivery. So yes, but it gets better. Wait, there's more. What he started doing is now he hooked up with one of the, see, here we go.
With like Uber Eats or DoorDash or something?
That would even be better, but no. It was a convenience store, kind of like the Wawa we have here, but it's called Heritage's. And you can go to Heritage's, and next week he will have his meals in there, so you could just go in and pick them up like you would pick up any, and it's a bariatric meal. And it has everything, if you're diabetic or if you went through pre-surgery and post-surgery meals, he'll have in there. Also, protein drinks and protein powders, all this stuff he's going to have in there at this Heritage's. I think it's an amazing idea. I can't wait for it. I'm definitely going to go buy some and put them in the refrigerator because that way I know there's no way I have to go out. I'll have like 3 or 4 of them in there. And anytime I go to Taco Bell, McDonald's, or anything like that, it's at least $9 or $10, most times $12.
Yeah.
These meals are somewhere around $7 or $8.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Does he have a website that I could put in the show notes?
He does. But see,
Cool.
I think he's just in this area because you either have to come pick him up or maybe he does ship them. Hang on.
So we'll put the website in the show notes. And also, John, you live in New Jersey. I don't know if there's like an area in New Jersey.
South Jersey?
South Jersey. All right. So if you're in the South Jersey area, we'll put that link in the show notes for you. We also have a question in the chat room from Anna. When you prep, do I need to put in water in the container for it to last? John, what do you do when you prep?
I don't put water in the container because I'm afraid it makes it go bad faster, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I know. I don't either. I used to do that with my husband's cucumbers, and then he told me, please don't do that. That was the only thing that I thought would need water. I don't necessarily do that, but I also try to eat them quickly.
He's on Facebook. If you go to Bariatric Boxes,
Oh, that's smart.
LLC, and the name of the website is bariatricboxes.com.
Brilliant.
So there you go.
Here's what sucks about being a marketer is I hear when people have a website up and I'm like, yes, that is a good URL. Good job. Good job getting that URL.
Yeah, see? They're having a community health fair too in June.
Fun.
So yeah, he's really doing it. And I'm excited for him. And he's a chef by trade, like he loves to cook. And he knew that there was a market for this because there is. So I'm looking through here. He's got sausage stuffed peppers, just amazing stuff in here. And it starts May 26th. May 26th, Bariatric Boxes will be available at Heritages.
Nice. Wow, he just got a nice plug on our show. You should let him know. Be like, you were featured on a podcast, dude.
Definitely. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a link in here or just put the audio. I'll do an audiogram and send it over there. But yes.
There you go.
And it's something that is absolutely needed. And I hope he takes this thing national because then I can say, I knew him when. I actually talked to that guy.
Yeah.
That guy felt me up one time to see how big my liver was. Not really. But anyhow, I'm sure that's not one of his finest moments. That's when you talk too much, when you talk too long.
See, that's what happens with the mic is nobody shuts us up.
Nope. There's no filter. All right. Winning Wednesdays.
Let's go.
Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday.
We have Brenda. She had 3 days, over 10,000 steps, almost 12,000 steps yesterday. That's awesome.
Zoe had a successful week of no evening out of control eating.
Yay.
That's my Achilles heel.
That is. I always worry in the group, like, should I put a poll up of what's your worst guilty habit, I guess? I think that would be interesting to find out what everybody's guilty habit is because it would be late night eating or maybe mindless eating. I think that would be mine if I have a bag of chips. Oh, goodness. I ate a whole bag of combos the other day. I haven't had combos in so long.
Is that the pretzel with the cheese inside?
I love them. Yep. I don't, and I can't buy them just for that reason is it'll say 6 servings, but that's 1 serving.
The serving is the container. Let's be
The
serious.
serving is the container. Absolutely. Anna said, I lost another 8 at my weigh-in. Whoop, whoop.
Katie said, broke my personal record on deadlift and back to running now that my ankle is all healed.
Ingrid says, I completed a 5K on Saturday. Did not think I was able to do it. Completed it in 1 hour and 26 minutes. Wow.
Ingrid
Wow.
never sits down. Ingrid must be just like walking everywhere. She never sits down. She's constantly walking. Amy says down 3 pounds from last week.
Yay! Wendy says, down 3 pounds for May so far with 2 weeks left to go. And both my sweatpants and favorite gym shirt were loose today.
That's a great feeling, except for when the gym pants fall down.
Yep.
That's the shirt's nice because that's not going anywhere, but the pants, not so much.
I was surprised that I've had to throw away some of my yoga pants because I thought yoga pants would fit you no matter what size you are. But after a while, well, I think I stretched the waistband out when I was 50 pounds heavier as well. So it's not very surprising, but it's still like, but your yoga pants, you should just snap back. I'm asking too much of my yoga pants, I think.
Okay, I think that's your Wendy, right? Or is
Oh,
is
did I
that-
do Wendy?
no, you didn't do Wendy yet.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute, did you?
I don't
No,
know.
I did. I did.
I'll
Wendy.
do Tamara. It's fine.
Okay.
Been consistently doing intermittent fasting for 16 hours fasting, 8 hours of an eating window for a whole week with the Zero app. And that's great.
Zero app. Have we talked about the Zero app before?
We've mentioned it since John and I both have Androids. I think Zero might just be for the iPhone. There's one app for intermittent fasting that's supposed to be really good. And of course, it's only for the iPhone and we have Androids. But I will put a link to the Zero app in the show notes. So if you click on it, I don't know, maybe they have an Android app at this point. So we'll see.
Well, let's give her the dot first, and then I'll say.
Yes.
Back when I was a snooty iPhone person, I would say, oh, there's Android people. You know, maybe to move up to the iPhone. But now I'm an Android person, and I'm like, oh, there's snooty iPhone people.
The snooty iPhone people just don't make apps for us.
Yes.
So whatever.
Oh, they're so selfish. They only make apps for themselves. Dusty said, what a Wednesday it's been. My wedding dress came in, and I ordered it 2 sizes smaller to hopefully fit in by my wedding date. Well, I went to try it on. It already fits since I had sleeve surgery. I went ahead and exchanged it for 2 more smaller sizes, and I was shocked it fit. I almost cried in the dressing room. Wedding is in October, for reference.
Wow. Dusty, that is amazing. Congratulations. That will actually be a milestone for me. I think I'll do at one point is try on my wedding dress, maybe for my anniversary in September. I'll try on my wedding dress, see if it fits, because I was 40 pounds lighter than I am now for my wedding. So we'll see. Yeah. Brandy says, reach my first weight milestone and definitely the harder one for me. Stop procrastinating and make out my meal plan for the next 2 weeks and go grocery shopping. That's so awesome. Yay.
Elaine says, work related. I am now team lead in my department. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop,
I
whoop.
love
Lots
my-
of whoop whoops today.
I love my job, and even if it doesn't come with more pay, I am grateful for the recognition.
Brendan says, back to the gym this week for the first time since early April. Boy, do I know it now. I found new places to be sore.
God, yeah, that is the toughest part. Jen says, went on my first cruise last week and did not gain weight. Wow, that is amazing because that's all they do is feed you there. Everyone told me it wasn't possible. I had a great time proving them wrong.
That is so fantastic. I really want to go on a cruise, actually. That would be fun. Erica says 3 days of 10,000 steps, nothing like a puppy having to pee to get you off the couch quick.
I wonder if I ever have a puppy, I'm going to name it Liberace. On account, it'll be the pianist.
Nice.
Jason says, meal prepping, cooked up things to have ready for a quick, easy breakfast and lunch, which is crucial when working from home. Also back to the whole 30-ish diet, cut out sugar and processed carbs. Potato every now and then.
Yay. Potatoes are delicious. I actually have 1 potato left from my giant sack of potatoes. And I've been making them maybe every other day, which might actually explain some of my weigh-in. But Deborah said, hit my 25th kickboxing class since March 5th. Congratulations. That's a lot. That's awesome.
That's a lot of winning Wednesdays. And everybody's doing great. It is amazing. And then you have the other people in here that are they're just watching. They're watching, but that's okay. I mean, I hope that by reading these winnings Wednesdays that they decide that, when they have one, throw it in there. Throw it in there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. One thing I will ask you, John, you were talking about meal prep on Sundays. Would you do something like going live or maybe posting pictures of all the meal prep you did? Because I'd like to see your meal prep. It might actually inspire me because Sundays is a good day to do that meal prep.
Oh, that means I have to clean my kitchen. Okay, I will.
Well, okay.
No, I know. I have no problem with it. I will do it. I will do it. I'll do, when I get everything going.
Oh, it looks like the Zero fasting app. There is one for Android. Maybe it's the Life app I was thinking. Anyway, we will put links to the intermittent fasting apps. There's the Zero, there's the Life app. I think there's another one. We'll put those in the show notes for you if you guys would like to do that. For me and John, we set timers when we started out. I think I tried an app and I was like, wait, this is just a fancy timer.
Yeah, it's exactly what I do because I just put it on there and it just runs.
And now it's so part of my routine at this point. I don't even need the clock on anymore. Do you find that, John?
Yeah, no, I know exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I have it just so it goes off and I know that, now it's over or now it's starting. But 9 times out of 10, I'm already waiting for it. So, yeah. Okay. All right. You know what time it is.
Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
And the golden tones behind that voice is Jason, who's is in the group. And he's in here doing it with us. He's the one who was doing the meal prepping.
Yep.
So congratulations. So it is my turn to go first. And I got on the scale this morning and I'm down 8 pounds.
John.
So
That is wonderful.
I got off the scale. I was like, "Are you sure?" And then I got back out on the scale again, and I'm down 8 pounds. So, again, when I'm paying attention and when I'm not constantly out eating and stuff like that, and it seems to be working. So that was a big one for me. It was the first time I got on a scale on Sunday, and I was down 4.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, well, okay. At least I'm not going to be up. That's nice. Let's keep this thing going. And it kind of really motivated me to go through the week way. I can't not just get on the scale. I mean, it has to be part of my routine. I was trying not to let the scale rule my life because I felt it was making me do things that I shouldn't do, trying to cheat the system, scam the system. But now that I feel like I've got some stabilization in my life where I'm doing things more stable, I think I need it just to make sure that they keep me on track. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy with that, just so you know.
Are you reading the chat room?
Yes, thank you, everyone. Everybody's giving me doot doots, whoop whoops, and a wow.
I kind of want that as a sound drop now. Doot doots, whoop whoop, and a wow.
And now we got both. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. It was nice to get up this morning. I'm like, yeah, and that's what I'm not going to lie. When I got on the scale this morning, I got off, I got back on, and then there was that's what I'm talking about.
Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
John. That's so great.
Thank you.
Very happy. So it is the Shark Tales end of Shark Week for me. So I'm up 3 pounds, actually. I'm surprised about the 3 pounds. It's usually 2.
I mean, that's, again, I don't know how you ladies even do this because it's crazy. And,
It is.
There's, water retention and all this other stuff. And I'm not, you've been doing fantastic. And I don't see this being something. First of all, I know what you didn't do. I know you didn't gain 3 pounds of fat. I know that didn't happen.
No. And I have noticed that I'm fitting into clothes. So this is the interesting thing with yoga that I'm finding out. And also the interesting
And that says potatoes.
probably. Yeah, I think the potatoes have to become a once a week thing, not an every other day thing for me. I love my potatoes, but who knows what's going on there.
Right.
So it's funny. Potatoes themselves are only 140 calories.
Really?
Right? I know. That's so surprising because potatoes are bad. They're so bad. Maybe 160, but they're under 200.
Honestly,
They're under 200.
so if you get into the science of this thing, there's a certain thing. It's called the damn it with my memory, the
Glycemic index.
glycemic index. I have to leave that in now because that was funny. So the glycemic index, there's a lot of foods that are higher on the glycemic index, and it gets your insulin up, which then doesn't allow you to lose weight. So if you keep your insulin down and you're not eating starchy, carby foods, your body's going to process that. It takes it longer to process it, and that's when it goes after the fat stores. That's the science of it, so they say.
That's why intermittent fasting is supposed to be so good, because you're giving your body that break so that it goes into this fat stores and it doesn't just, okay, well, I'm going to use up this energy now. And then, you're just going to feed me in 3 hours, which is different than the diets that are like, you have to eat every 3 hours. That revs up your metabolism. It's so interesting, the science behind it and what you read in all these books. And if you read enough diet books, you feel like you've majored in anatomy and physiology. But then somebody comes and changes it on you. And it's like, wait.
I'm just going to do a story about yesterday. So yesterday morning, I woke up and I was really, really hungry. And of course, I didn't have anything here. So I said, all right, I'm going to run out. I'm going to grab something. So I went to McDonald's. I got 2 sausage, egg McMuffin with cheeses, 2 parfaits. And I was like, okay. And I looked at it. I'm like, okay, that's in the window. I can do that. And then I was still hungry and I stopped and got a bagel with cream cheese. So I was like, wow, that's a lot. So then I figured, well, I'll have a salad for dinner. I'm still under my calorie and it's still, there's still so I didn't panic about it. Well, I got working and I had a podcast to do and I never got a chance to. So at the end, I was like really, really hungry when I went upstairs and I drank water and I had half a sweet potato. And I was like, okay, because it was after midnight. So I'm like, well, I'm on my next day, kind of sort of, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I got to sleep. I'm going to eat this half a sweet potato. So I ate the half a sweet potato. Now that was last night. And so keeping myself in that, making sure that I can't eat. And I just knew I couldn't sleep that night. So I had to do something. And I didn't want to do peanut butter. So I figured I'd try half a sweet potato. And it worked. I ate that half a sweet potato and I went out like a baby.
Yeah, the chat room's like yelling at me about the potatoes. It's just like, it's not the potato, it's what you put on it. I know. I didn't actually put anything bad on them. I was roasting them. I made hash browns at one point. Oh, I put ranch dressing on the hash browns. Yeah, no, actually the chat room is right. They're absolutely right.
Well, and then a lot of people say, you should eat more. You need to eat 6 small meals a day, and I'm like, no, thank you. No, that's not. I used to do that, and that's that. Your body never gets a break. It's always processing. Your insulin's always up. That doesn't work for me.
I found with my ADHD, the 6 small meals a day just drove me nuts because once you would finish eating, it was like, okay, finally, I have like a nice 3-hour break until I have to eat again. But you really only have about 2 hours before you start thinking about having to eat again. And it was so distracting. It was so bad that I was obsessed with food all the time. And it was like, this is not how I want to live life. This isn't how I want to lose weight. I know losing weight for me is going to be a long process. So I don't want something that's like, okay, I can focus fully on 3 meals a day, making them healthy for maybe 3 weeks at the most before my brain is like, this is not what we should be thinking about all the time.
No, absolutely. Right. And then this morning I got up and I had time because I was up early and I said, maybe I'll go out. I said, no, you're making eggs, dude. You're making eggs right now. And I did. I made eggs this morning and it was good. And so my biggest fight is with myself. And now that I know that, I'm getting better at it. I'm winning. I'm beating myself to a pulp.
Hey, did you give yourself a doot-doot?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Just give yourself a doot-doot. I think you deserve a doot-doot.
I think I did. Well, and there's one for you too. If I didn't, I'm lackadaisical on the doot-doots.
No, we love celebrating everybody else's wins, but when it comes to ours, we're just kind of meh. I mean, we have theme music for our wins too, and we're just like, we don't need a doot-doot. It's fine. But you should be very proud of yours. I'm glad you had that.
Anna says, don't you hate the diets you have to eat with 1 hour of waking? Honest to God, that's what they want me to do. And I can't do it. So what I ended up doing was I have these protein shakes that break the fast. So what I do is I get up and I drink one of them when I'm having coffee. And then that's how I break it. Because I don't really want to eat either. And then about 2 hours later, then I'm hungry. So that's what I do.
I'm not even a big coffee drinker, but sometimes in the morning, if I'm hungry, that's when I'll make coffee, is when I finally get those little hunger pangs. And then coffee weirdly makes it worse, but by the time I've finished it, it's almost time to eat anyway. But
if I'm hungry, I can't drink coffee. There's no way, because then it just makes me ravenous.
Well, that's the other thing, is it makes me ravenous, and then it makes me shoot out of a can. I almost drank coffee this morning, and I was like, no, I can't have 2 Crazy Emily weeks in a row. We're going to have nice
I love Crazy Emily.
Crazy Emily scares me sometimes.
I say embrace Crazy Emily. Let her fly. Let her out.
I think, I don't know. It was fun.
Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. Boy, we said, this is going to be a short show. We don't have much to talk about.
I thought the same thing when I looked at the clock just now.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. And if you know somebody that might like 2 crazy people going through dieting, share this show with them. Say, listen, these 2 guys, this John and Emily, they're dieters like we are, and you got to listen to them. They just bring a smile to our face. Share it with your friends, please. And if you want to join us in the Facebook group, you just go to hate2wait.com/Facebook and sign up. And we're in here, and we're 200 strong, I think.
I will say, I had to do some kicking out of the group this past week.
You did?
Yes. I don't know if you saw this. Hopefully I caught it quickly enough. There were people, they answered the question that we had for getting in. And then I started seeing their posts, and they were a little excessive. So I deleted a few of them, and I was like, I don't know if these are trolls yet. And then once they started commenting on somebody else who was new in the group, and she posted her picture, and then it was clear that they were trolls. There were a few angry face emojis on those comments. Guys, if you're in the group and you see these things, report it. Click on the comment, hold it down. There should be a button that says report, maybe the 3 dots next to a comment. Report it, or send me or John a message to let us know, because we don't want that in our group. We want to keep our group safe. We want it to be a safe space for people who are losing weight, who understand the struggle, and nobody has time for that. And Honestly, I'm not even going to I didn't even give them a warning. I was like, no, this is just,
That's
sorry.
it. We bounce them. Emily,
Yeah.
hold the door. I get them by the back of the shirt and the pants, right out the door.
Here's the funny thing is I'm like, I don't want to tell John because John will be so mad. So I'll wait a few days for it to be over. So John can't go back and look because I've already deleted everything.
Who, me?
You'd be like, I know your IP address. Don't piss off podcasters. I'm on 5 different shows. You're going to get called out on every single one of them.
Yeah, you're not lying. It's true.
Yeah,
I
Adam
hate
says,
that
bye,
nonsense.
Felicia. Yeah, that was pretty much what I did. The worst thing was it was like a really good day. And then all of a sudden that happened. And I was like, oh, no, not in my group. No.
Right. Goodbye to trash. Absolutely, Anna. That's exactly what we do. Take out the trash.
Oh, man, Wild Emily's coming back again.
See, I love everybody. Everybody does. Don't you like Wild Emily?
No, because I get too passionate and I'm just like, that's it. And now I'm done. Boom.
There's such thing as too passionate.
I know.
Absolutely not. All right, everyone. With that, if you still want to come into the group with us crazy people, just go to hatethewait.com/Facebook. Yes, that's it.
Yep.
And we'll be here. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back next week.